On this episode of the Star Wars Time Show, Matt and Nick will reveal the top 16 Star Wars plot twists of all time, or at least according to their low IQ brains. Will your twist make the list? You must stay tuned to find out. Of course, on the show with the question of the week responses and the latest round of top Punch it, Chewie. Hey, now, everybody, including my mic that didn't want to work before we went live. Who knows if it's working now, but welcome to the Star Wars Time Show. We always have broken technology. Hey now, that's right. Divided is back, and she needs the rules of the land. She needs to know what this top fan tier ranking is all about. In the live stream chat. It's a new YouTube thing if you're new here or returning after a bit of a hiatus. YouTube has now made participating in a live stream an event. It's gamified. So the more chats you send, the more XP you get. If you happen to feel gracious and a little, you want to share some of your cashola, that'll give you even more XP in this race to the top of the SWTS live stream leaderboard. So yes, if you just listen to the podcast and you want to get involved, you like playing some games, you like seeing yourself on the 1, the 2, or the 3 block at the end of the show, don't forget, live streams take place Wednesdays, 5:30 p. EST, or like today, as close as we can get, youtube.com/Star Wars Time Show. All right, I'll get there, everyone. I'm a little frazzled. It's
Matt's you had your birthday this weekend. Happy birthday to Matt.
45,
everybody
baby.
In the chat.
Yay.
There we go. 45. He's
truly
halfway through life. Matt's going to make it to 90.
Hey there, Roblox Storm. We appreciate you. Thanks for the sub.
Indeed. Hey there, and then Cole. You're going on the vacay soon. Tomorrow you're leaving for vacation.
Yeah, it's more like just working remotely, but it's a different venue than my basement. So yeah, that'll be nice. But all the planning and whatnot. Hey, look at that. Look who just showed up. Grey Goose Snaps. Only the most hardcore, longest time Star Wars Time Show fans will know who that is. Greggy boy.
That's right.
Good to see you, my friend. It's been far too long. Look at that. Greg is OG when he's got a wrench next to his name. You know what I mean? So
that is old school times. Welcome back.
That is a throwback.
Greg used to be Star Wars Black Series 2019 or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I think he polled our fan base to see what his new name should be.
And hey there, Marilyn. Welcome to the show here. Just kicking things off. Hey, like Nick said, it was a good week. Good weekend, little water park action. Tried to go to a minor league baseball game and got rained out, but still spent some time downtown eating some good food. I probably ate too much. That's the one thing I don't like about my birthday. It takes place typically the weekend before I head out to a beach where I want to take my shirt off and not feel subconscious and all that fun shit. But I kind of let loose because, why not? You only live once, and it's not like anyone's looking at my little fat ass anyways. So, but I still, this will always be here. I've worked on it in therapy. It doesn't matter. I'm always going to feel like I'm fatter than I look, and when I'm fatter, I'm not going to feel as fat as I may look. It's like body dysmorphia that goes both ways. So I don't know how to explain it. I never realized how big I was when I was big, and now that I'm not as big, I don't really realize that I'm not a fatso anymore. So we'll see. The shit kind of burns in your head, Nick, when you're called Fat Matt most of your life. You know what I mean? Just kind of.
Those rhyming nicknames always hurt, right? Like
yeah, yours is the best though. I mean, come on, Big Dick Nick or Nick the Big Dick. Come on. I mean, that's a fantastic one. Usurper, hold on. Let's help this. Should I donate $100 to St. Jude's or support my local community by hiring a nearby prostitute? I would keep it within your community. You know, communities need help these days. So
how about you 50-50 split it? How about you 50-50 split it?
Just watch out what you can get for $50 in your community. You never know. So.
I don't know where you live. So you got
anyways, welcome. Here we go. We got some fun stuff to do today. Just some show notes. We will be taking a break next week, so no SWTS next Wednesday. We'll be back the following Wednesday, and we'll have more special announcements for you about the rest of August. So make sure to tune in. All right, thank you, Usurper Dog. Was it Dog Heart? Appreciate you for the sub. Yeah, we are based, as they say, or we're just stupid. You never know. All right, so like I said, we got plenty of Star Wars to get in today, but as always, we're going to kick things off with Ask Us Anything. If you want to get involved, make sure you're following us on our socials. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Discord, Instagram, if you can find us buried in the algo, and just look for the prompt and contribute, respond, and you will have your question answered. Our big topic today, though, are the top 16 ranked Star Wars plot twists. Okay, we started with 18, whacked it down to 16 because we didn't like 2 of them. So that's what you're going to get. And our list is definitive. Okay, there's no room for additions or subtractions. It is perfect. All right.
That's right.
Hey there, Kramer. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I know you're getting excited. Football is almost back. I know, like, you know, I just turned 45, and as we're all realizing the older we get, time just starts going faster and faster. But, Nick, I think I've made it to the next level of time skipping in a human's age, because the summer in general has just zipped by, but really just years now are clipping. I mean, I can remember turning 40 during COVID, and here we are. I'm already halfway to 50. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, man. It goes.
Like
it flies by. It flies by.
I don't like it. But
and then especially like with having a little one, the summer is definitely a time where it's like, it's way more pronounced than it is when you're single or when you don't have a kid in the household.
Because their whole life is still based around summer vacation, and then I'm already getting it because we're stupid and we go back to school mid-August up here in the Midwest. Like, that makes any fucking sense. But yeah, I mean, my little one will be starting 4th grade already. It's like, fuck.
Dang. I just became an uncle about 3 hours ago.
Oh yeah. Really? Yes. She was born today, huh?
Born today. My brother and his wife had their first child.
Way to go.
So yes.
Did you
welcome?
According to your training you had to take last week, did you beat yourself with your cattails this morning?
I did.
Honor her birth as godfather?
That was good. In the documentation. It's done. I have a video in case they need proof. It's all there. I've done my part.
Last week, Nick went to the cult and they're like, yeah, you've got to cut yourself to honor your goddaughter. So good. I'm glad to hear you are keeping up with the faith. Okay.
Yeah. Gotta keep it above board.
Well, that's good. So everyone sounds like they're healthy and they made it. So that's fantastic news here.
Yes. Everybody is healthy and safe, and they'll be back home on Friday. So they're doing 2 days, right. 2 days in the hospital and heading home.
Excellent. Well, you know what, Nick? Let's see what the fans wanted to know this week from our 2 intelligent asses. All right. It's time for Ask Us Anything. Okay, well, I should be on the right screen. Did you see that last tip I sent you? Have you studied the JSON prompt method for video?
I looked over it. I looked over it earlier today. I'll test some of those out later. So I have not done a video yet, but I will test out that format to see if I can get something that looks a little bit different or a little better than what I've been getting.
You know me. I mean, I'm pretty much reading about. Thank you, Bango. Reading about AI on a daily basis, and it's. I'd say within the last 3 weeks, the JSON movement for prompting has been like a big push, specifically for VO3, your tool, which is way more superior than Sora, what I've been using. I mean, it works. I use the JSON on Sora as like, and I think I sent you everything to where you can just turn Gemini into something that spits out the. Okay, good. Yep. So
Yeah.
it worked, but it looked dumb. I was like, I just want a cat walking on two legs in the desert with sunglasses, and it started with a human that would then liquid melt into a cat. I'm like, all right,
Okay,
okay,
I guess we got there eventually.
all right. Grey Goose Snaps. Are you doing another? I mean, man, you're throwing back to the classic days of the SWTS lives. We haven't done shit like that in years, so yeah, we probably
What's
should.
Greg asking?
He's asking, are you doing another Marvel versus Star Wars matchup? It's like we might as well.
So that's what we had discussed, potentially doing another bracket breakdown or bracket challenge, as we did a few years ago. So we may bring one of those back. I can resurrect the old bracket challenge and see if we can get some activity on the IG again. But yeah, that's something that we had been tossing around.
Maybe even if it's just a live like showdown where you and I, maybe we each get the East and West, you know what I mean, and we fight our players to the championship. I mean, we've got plenty of days left to just make shit up to talk about Star Wars. So yeah. We'll write that down, Greg. You never know. I mean, there's literally nothing to talk about anymore about Star Wars, so we just have to make shit up. Stop it with the hats they're a collector's item at this point in time, Grey Goose. So, congrats.
You got man. Yeah, you got one.
Let's get into Ask Us Anything. This question reminds me. It looks like Beyond the Dune Sea is about to make a hard slant towards Harry Potter over the coming weeks. So. You got to do what you got to do if you're into Star Wars content creation. They're going to cover Harry Potter. We're going to keep doing our dumb shit, but we have a Harry Potter question coming to kick off Ask Us Anything. So here we go, Nick, because I know you're a big Harry Potter dude. You may be more in the know on this than I am, but Spencer would like to know your thoughts on all the confirmed HBO Harry Potter castings and the leaked set photos of everyone in their 90s fashion. Looks like it's going to be a great series so far from just a character design and set deck point of view. Are you aware of this series? Is it something you've been following actively, or do you give two shits?
I haven't seen the set leaks, so I don't have an update on that, but I have seen the casting. I think that the casting looks pretty solid. I like Nick Frost as Hagrid. Matt, I'm sure you know who Nick Frost is from the Shaun of the Dead and all that
SM33,
stuff. So
bro. Star Wars connection. It's me.
So he's playing Hagrid. I think he looks really good. Yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how it goes down, like Harry Potter is one of those properties that's like controversial because of the person who made it, J.K. Rowling, and her beliefs. Obviously, I grew up as when I was a kid, that was the books that I read when I was a child. I think the first one came out when I was in like 6th grade. So I read those all along. I'm interested to see how it turns out though. I think it could be good. Obviously a series for Harry Potter seems to make a lot more sense because you have so much time that's covered in it, and doing it in movies is a little bit harder. You have to cut stuff. So I hope they do a better job, especially in the later seasons, of fleshing out the characters that are introduced later, and like not cutting out storylines that were super interesting. So yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna give it a watch, see how it is, and we'll be interestedly following along for sure. So one thing that I did hear about that show, which is wild, is that they literally built a school on the set grounds for these kids to go to, because they're essentially going to be doing this series for the next 10 years probably.
And these streaming companies say they have no money, yet they can pay their CEOs $55 million bonuses and build Hogwarts in live action. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like real schools for these kids to go to, instead of just being like, okay, like we're finished filming, you can go to school now.
Why are we doing this? Is this just more we can't create new IP, so let's just retread existing fan favorite content type of thing, Nick?
I mean, clearly. Yeah, I mean, and here's the thing is like Harry Potter, the movies, they're not that old. I guess they are now.
I mean, like 20, I guess 20 years from the first one, close to it.
Yeah, about 20 years from the first one. So I mean, I don't know. I will say that I think that Harry Potter will probably work better as a live action TV show.
Daniel's always going to be my Harry, Nick, god damn it.
Yeah.
I did
So
see the
I don't know.
Harry. I mean, he looks just like Daniel Radcliffe. It's kind of creepy. So
Yeah, yeah.
and
Thick
isn't
books almost need a series, at least a miniseries. Yeah, I agree with
isn't what's
Divided
his
on
name,
this one.
Tom Fenton? There is that his name? Isn't he going to be in it?
I think he might be. Well, I don't know, because he's not playing Lucius Malfoy, which would make the most sense to like
Right.
cast him in the role that was his father in the originals. But he might be in it in some other form or fashion, unless I like missed that casting note. But yeah, I mean, I will be watching it. Like Taylor and I are both Harry Potter fans. We both watched and read all of the books and watched all the movies multiple times. So yeah, I mean, it'll be something that
I've
I keep
never
up with.
read a single book. I'm a movie guy only, and they were definitely entertaining. But I think you are right. The especially the Deathly Hallows Bingo Bango felt
Yeah.
a bit not as great as the other films. But listen, Harry Potter coming in blind, it was one of the coolest things I was exposed to in my 20s. That was one thing that a college girlfriend got me into. And that's probably the only thing I appreciate about that relationship. So I do like the Potter, even though it's just a steady ripoff of Star Wars. Like, it's legitimately Star Wars with magic. I mean, he even dies and you know, comes back, and their wands look like lightsabers, you know, green and red. It's ridiculous. He's the chosen one. I mean, come on. That's right, Greg. Way too many words and shit for me. Thank you, pal.
Lots of words and shit.
All right.
Will say though, I finished a book. I finished Sunrise of the Reaping. So if you are a fan of the Hunger Games, yeah. I finished that one today. Read the last chapter. Heartbreaking book, but a good read if you're
prequel?
a fan.
Is that the one with Haymitch or whatever?
Yes, that is the one with Haymitch as the main character. So if you are a fan of those, then they're ready to go. I mean, that one's ready to go. It's a good book.
Bilbo Bingus. I agree. Release those files. People in charge are scared all of a sudden. It's weird.
Release them.
Yeah, release the file. I'll put that up there. There you go. Release the files. All about it. There you go, Nick. Divide Skywalker just finished a book as well. You guys are in tune with your reading.
There we go.
Look at my new Yeti, by the way. Look at this thing.
Oh yeah, so you got the big Yeti,
the half-gallon donut. I mean, this thing is ridiculous. It's a weapon though. Like, you get this thing whipping around. Ka-kla! I love Yetis.
Nice.
Yeah, 64 ounces of pure piss-generating liquid. You gotta love it. All right, Nick, next question for you, coming from League, our buddy over in Discord. Favorite K-pop band is the first question. And did you see K-pop Demon Hunters as a follow-up?
So yes, Taylor and I did watch K-pop Demon Hunters. We fucking loved it. It was really great. It was good, dude. It's a fun.
So are you like a K-pop guy? Because I don't even know how to answer the first question here.
Yeah. So I listened to some K-pop. I think K-pop's really fun, specifically the K-pop girl groups.
Oh yeah, because that's what I'm singing right now. Because they're like biki 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 baka 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 biki biki baka, right? And it's like that type of stuff.
No, it's not like that. The girl groups are actually that's the K-pop boy groups. Those they sound really soft. The K-pop girl groups go hard. So my favorite K-pop band is Blackpink, and then my second favorite K-pop band right now is Baby Monster. So those are my K-pop recommendations.
I didn't even know I was listening to K-pop then, because I definitely have a Blackpink song on my good stuff playlist where it's literally Blackpink.
Yeah.
Blackpink. Ding 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 ding. Oh yeah, all right. I guess that I'm Blackpink then. That's who I like. So no, I've not seen Demon Hunters, but I heard it's a big thing with the little girls around my neighborhood. At least that's what my daughter said. So
yeah,
we'll see.
It's a good watch, honestly.
What do they do? Like fight with their music or something? I mean, is it?
No, they fight with like swords and stuff like that. It's basically like a demon hunting show where they've just kind of added in the K-pop aspect of it, where it's like you have the K-pop girl group that's like the most popular group, and then all of a sudden this boy group comes out of nowhere and they're demons. But then you find out that the girls are demon hunters, so it turns into Huge thing, dude. It's fun to watch.
Do they
It's fun to
have? I
watch.
mean, is there a song in every episode, like when they go to fight, kind of
Oh,
like Power Rangers,
it's
like "Go
just
Go Power Rangers," and they sing it every
it's
time, or
just a
what?
movie. Yeah, so it's just a film. So there's not multiple
Oh,
episodes, but there
okay.
are multiple songs, and all those songs are good. And I would definitely Taylor has been like listening to them on. Dude,
Oh
the
my
funny
god.
thing is like this movie has exploited to the point to where like the songs from the movie from like the fake bands in the movie are more
Okay.
popular than like real K-pop songs now.
All right. Okay. All
It's
right.
crazy.
I'll check it out. All right. I
Check
don't
it
turn
out.
anything down. I always listen. I'll listen. My kid, I don't know what she's like going through some phase, but she's been into Shark Attack series on HBO Max, where like you can see their
Mm.
appendages missing,
Oh
and
gosh.
yeah, and I let her watch it because I'm a great dad. And the Eye of the Storm series on HBO Max, which again is like cell phone accounts of some of the bigger, derechos or tornadoes that have happened since the 2020s. It's been
Wow.
kind of neat. All right.
Yeah.
So there we go. There's our K-pop replies. Here's our buddy Phil.
K-pop segment. Yep.
Phil's always coming with the good questions for Ask Us Anything. So here you go, Nick. Outside of Star Wars, what movie with a major plot twist do you wish you could experience again for the first time? Mine would be either The Usual Suspects, which I have never seen, and I feel like a loser because I know that's like a cinematic great, or the first Saw film. So, Nick, what do you think? This was tough. I even cheated, and I still had a hard time coming up with a good answer, and I still don't love it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, Fight Club was a really good one. Like finding out that yeah.
Good call. Good call.
Yeah, I think that was probably the one that stood out most to me was Fight Club.
I think you win, honestly. I think you win with that one. I was gonna say Matrix 1. When it's revealed that humans are plugged in as batteries.
Oh yeah.
For machines, and Neo really was, or Mr. Anderson really was, like kind of tripping out and starting to break free of the machine. So,
dude, that's a good one because you. Go ahead.
No, I just gonna say it's like you kind of understand something's off with Mr. Anderson and Trinity showing up, but you're like, okay, what's this red pill, blue pill shit? And then he wakes up naked in a pod with fucking tentacle things sucking the life out of him, and he gets flushed down a toilet, and you're like, oh shit, this is Earth present, not what we've been watching for the first 40 minutes of the movie. So
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like typically when I think about twist movies, it's always like the twist happens at the end, right? But that was one where it was like it was a twist in the middle that really changed the way that the rest of the series went down. That's a good one as well. Yeah.
Like I said, I think yours is better. It's the best actually, but thank you for accommodating my low hanging fruit choice. All right, I think we got one or two more here. We got Kramer coming with a 4-part. Holy shit! All right. I'll answer this one for the both of us. Are you both going to watch Alien Earth? Sure. Okay. Nick will get there eventually.
What is it?
Alien Earth is, I think it's either a movie or TV show coming up.
Oh, yeah. Horror TV show that is based in the Alien universe. Okay. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'll probably check it out.
Have we seen the Bothans in live action? I don't think so, because they almost have like camel wolf heads. And,
not that I'm aware of. I don't believe so.
Thoughts on Ozzy Osbourne and passing? Okay, listen, I loved Ozzy Osbourne. I loved his music. I thought his TV show was fantastic. His interviews were fantastic. He just seemed like a genuine, just fucking guy. Like he was a thing. Yeah. His aura was ridiculous. But I'm also someone that does not really get that moved by fucking celebrities dying. Like I don't give that many shits. People die every day. Regular people die all the time. There's a whole bunch of dying going on in the Middle East that I'm just like, I don't care. I feel sad for their family, but I really don't even that. I mean, if you want me to be honest, like, I'll tell you right now, the only celebrity that will affect me, and I can say this straight up, will be Howard Stern. When he dies or when he leaves the air, it's going to be a sad day for me because I've spent over 30 years of my life listening to that guy. So much so that he became like a father figure to me. So he's the only celebrity, but that's just because of how much time and words I've listened to this guy. Like not movie words, not characters. Like him as Howard, being Howard, talking about life, this, that, and the other thing. So, what
Yeah.
about you, Nick? Do you give a shit about celebrities dying? I mean, it's like,
I mean,
okay,
typically, yeah, like typically not. I mean, it's kind of the same thing where it's like, everybody passes.
right.
It's a moment
And they
for their
typically live
family.
better lives than the rest of us. So,
Yeah.
oh
What
well.
I was surprised about is that he was only 76. I thought that Ozzy was older than
Well,
that, but
dude, when you when
I
you
mean,
abuse yourself the way he did, I mean, I'm surprised he made it this long.
yeah. Yeah, I mean it's pretty crazy, but yeah, I mean he passed on. He put on a fucking really good show the day before he died and raised a bunch of money
Yeah,
for
I
like
think
children's
he
hospitals or something like that. So
I think he knew he was going out because he even like you said, he's like, "This is it. This is my last performance," and
yeah,
there we go.
so
I just always like when
yeah.
he on his show when he fell in love with Chipotle like I did for the first time, and he just be like, "Chipotle, Sharon, Sharon." There you go. Bango. Taylor Hawkins dying fucked him up because of his ties to Foo Fighters.
Foo
Yeah, I guess
Fighters, yeah.
Dave Matthews dying. I would not maybe not shed a tear, but be like that. It's one of those. One of the, dap them down. But yeah, I mean, listen, they're people just like us. I've never been someone that is starstruck. And the same thing if you flip it over to corporate America, like all these fucking pawn cog in a wheel fucks that look at their bosses and CEOs as if they're demigods. I'm like, no, these assholes got there by treading on the rest of us and making decisions that typically makes our lives worse. So they can eat shit. All right. Never quake in your boots over a CEO or anyone in the C-suite. Okay, they're fucking for the most part probably jerk offs. All right, number 4 finally is Shogun a good show? Yeah, Shogun is fucking
Yeah.
fantastic. As long as you're down with reading subtitles, it's excellent. Like you can't go wrong on that. Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
I want to hit Based and Brazen. People losing their ish over Hulk Hogan. I generally could care less. I'm like, Matt's celebs don't mean shit to me. I don't follow them on a social either. Yeah. And listen, like Hulk Hogan, sure, the character and like, a weird, if you're into wrestling, I don't care where you're at now. At one point in time, you liked Hulk Hogan. You're like, he was the man. But once you learned who Terry Bollea was, it's hard to
Yeah.
kind of, I'm pretty sure, and don't quote me on this shit. I'm pretty sure one of his own kids didn't even show up for his funeral. So there's that. Okay. All right. Someone mod Bruce Wayne there in the other chat if we could. And I guess I'll have to because it's in the whatever it is.
The vertical.
Yeah. We're going to go ahead and report this guy. Let's say that one is that. Okay. All right, sorry, I had to do a little moderation,
Cleaning up,
there.
a little cleanup.
Yeah, we got another one, and there's that. Okay.
Jeez, looks like.
All right, what's that?
It looks like we might have to send some moderators over to the vertical side of things.
All right. If anything, I'll just put them in a 24-hour timeout if it would let me.
You can also do hide user from this channel, and then none of their messages show up.
Yeah. Thanks, Greg. Try to ban that person. Thank you. All right. Other questions here? Hey, Divided. What's your funnest birthday memory as a kid versus as an adult?
Wow, that's a good one. Favorite birthday memory as a kid versus as an adult. I don't know. I mean, here's the thing with my birthday is like my birthday typically fell around when we were going back to school. So there wasn't like a whole lot of huge, like we didn't go on like trips or anything like that. But mine was probably like I remember I had like a Ninja Turtles birthday party when I was a kid, and it was awesome. So yeah, I think that was fun. That was fun. And
How
then when
about
I was an adult, my second, like probably my favorite memory of a birthday as an adult wasn't even my birthday. It was one of my friend's birthday, and we went skydiving. That was pretty. That was
Oh
pretty
yeah,
fun. That
geez.
was pretty
Okay.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah, as a kid it's tough. It's like I always had a summer birthday, so I never got to celebrate in school, but I would always have parties. I remember that. I think it was probably going to Sandcastle Water Park in Pittsburgh with a bunch of little swinging dicks. You know what I mean? And then as an adult, I kind of have two recent ones. Even though I turned 40, dead fucking pandemic, so got to celebrate with nobody. Like I'm one of these people that just had a know nothing 40 birthday, which might bum me out a little bit. But the fun thing was, my kid was 4 at the time. We had set up a tent outside, and her and I basically just lived out of it. And I woke up from the tent on my 40th, and my wife had like fully decorated the yard with balloons and all sorts of crazy shit to make me feel special. And I got a BB-8 cake. It was really good.
Nice.
And I think
Nice.
my gift was a Sig Sauer handgun, so that was pretty cool too. So, and then a recent one was like a perfect day for someone like me. First and foremost, the birthday fell on a fucking Friday, which was golden. So I
Nice.
started with a round of golf. Then I had Chipotle after. Went to Pins after that, which it's kind of like a bar that has duck pin bowling and free arcade
They
games.
just opened one of those
Okay,
around my house. Yeah.
that makes sense for Austin. We've got a few
Yeah.
in Columbus. And then and I had like some friends show up that I haven't seen in a while. And then we closed out with a nice dinner and hanging out on the deck. So there you go. All right.
Nice.
I think that does it for Ask Us Anything. Thanks for playing. Like I said, if you ever want to get involved, just make sure to check us out on our socials Monday through Wednesday to look for the prompt. Leave your response, and we'll take care of the rest. All right. So before we get into this week's special topic of the top 16 Star Wars plot twists, got a little pop culture talk. Checked out a small little release last week in theaters. Another MCU entry. This one, I think, courtesy of the Sony or the Fox deal from years ago.
Yep.
I went and checked out the new Fantastic Four, which I forgot. Nick, this is the third iteration of Fantastic Four.
Yeah. I was telling Taylor about that. Yeah, it was the OG that had the 2 movies, and then the Josh Trank fucking massacre.
Yeah, the one that kind of ended his career. Like he became, dude. He was kind of like the guy after he did that kind of with Chronicle. That found whatever Chronicle. He had like a Boba Fett deal at one point in time. He got canned. He put out that Fantastic Four, and I don't think he's worked again.
I know, it's sad, dude, because Chronicle was so good, but then he got immediately thrown into like the big budget, too much money kind of deal, and then just never was able to rebound. Kind of sucks.
Yeah. So, anyways, we have a new Fantastic Four starring Din Djarin, the guy from Gladiator 2, one of the Emperors, Rockman, and Hot Girl. Mission Impossible lady. That's where I mostly know her from. And
Vanessa Kirby, yeah.
And I love
Moss Baccarat.
Right, and I've seen him in other shit, just not. And same with Johnny Storm. I know he's in a ton of stuff, but I can't always remember it. He was just in that Warfare movie. He's pretty good. They're all good actors and actresses, and it is a good movie. I'm not gonna Fantastic Four: First Steps. Another good MCU entry, kind of like Thunderbolts was. I'd say the movie's biggest downside is the end and the kind of the formulaic MCU boss battle shit. It just feels kind of flat compared to just the direction, the tone the rest of the movie was kind of following. I don't know. It felt cheap at the end. It just didn't feel like there were any true stakes for what this Earth was experiencing that the Fantastic Four lived on. Silver Surfer was cool. You know, you got a little bit of that insights. I mean, listen, if you've watched the 900 other Fantastic Four movies, you don't need a bunch of setup, and they don't really spend a ton of time in this film going through the origin story. They kind of cover it in a clever way. But I did not. I guess kind of the problem that has plagued all these MCU movies post Phase 3 is, even with the stinger in Thunderbolts, nothing still feels cohesive, Nick. Like Fantastic Four First Step still feels like it's its own universe. What happened in Thunderbolts wasn't really explained in this movie at all. You know, if you've seen the end of Thunderbolts, it's a very clear nod why this Fantastic Four movie had to happen, but then this movie doesn't pay off on that at all. There's a big tease, and I would say maybe an RDJ type of tease. Nice. But it just doesn't, Nick. It just doesn't. That feel of the post credit teasers from the first 3 phases is just it's gone. Like nothing feels like it's going to lead to something else, or that it's actually connected, or that anything means anything anymore.
Yeah, I think that like we're just kind of done with that part of superhero movie history. Like that's just over. And really, like, we call it Marvel Phase 1, 2, and 3, but realistically, like everything from the initial release of Iron Man up until the release of Endgame was one phase. Like they can call it 3 phases all they want, but like that was essentially 20-ish years of storytelling that culminated in one, final bang with Endgame, and then it reset. So like, I think that if we're trying to recapture that, that like feeling of the original MCU all the way through Endgame, it's just not going to happen. And I don't know if like they just need to internally at Marvel realize that time period is over, and they need to think about like structurally if they want to do something different, or if they just want to drop the teasers at the end of the credits, because really they're just like, they're kind of played out at this point. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't like superhero movies are never going to recapture that time period of like that lead up to Endgame. It's just they're too many of them. They come out too frequently. With the DCU being rebooted, we're going to have now we're going to have 2 fucking superhero cinematic universes going at the same time again. Like people are just going to get tired of it. And I think that they need to realize that like you're not going to get that same feeling that you did when you saw Iron Man for the first time and then had the stinger or something like that.
Yeah, Feige, I'm not saying Feige needs to go, but he may need some fresh set of eyes in that EP room there, whatever the hell his title is these days, because it's just the formula is gone. It clearly hasn't worked. I mean, you could go back. I'm sure there's YouTube videos on this in the Marvel sphere of all of the unpaid off stingers since the end of Phase 3. Yeah. It's pretty much, Nick, every single one has gone absolutely nowhere. I mean, at one point in time, what's his name? From Ted Lasso, the soccer player that's fantastic. What's his name? Roy Kent.
Oh yes, he was supposed to be in the Hercules or something like that.
He's at the end of Thor 4, like he's teased as Hercules going after Thor and stuff, and that goes nowhere. So here's the deal: like I don't want to. The post credit has no bearing on the quality of Fantastic Four First Steps is a good movie. Okay, plain and simple, it's a damn good movie. I would say it's not as good of a comic book movie as the new Superman, but it's a solid film worth seeing in the theater. I just think Feige and everyone in the MCU, they need to, as Nick said, they need to rethink this shit. And I think that depending on where James Gunn goes with the DC, that may be the model to follow. Like James Gunn has said, we are not going to make a movie until the script is fully written and good, which Marvel, they do all the time. Like they'll fucking start shooting movies before scripts are done. And he's not doing post-credit scenes specifically to kick off another character or film. He's like, you just can't rely on that shit. And he said, the reason I'm not doing that is because of what I experienced in MCU with the Guardians. He's like, I never wanted to do fucking, what's his name? The gold guy? What was his, Adam Warlock or whatever?
Yeah, Adam
Yeah,
Warlock.
he's
Yeah.
like, I mean, I love the actor I worked with, but he's like, I never wanted to fucking include that character, but because they did a fucking stinger with him, we had to jam him into the third film. So we'll see how the DC plays out. But yeah, Fantastic Four First Steps, we're seeing in theaters, but it still feels like the MCU is never gonna converge like it once did. All right, okay, well here we go. It's already up on the screen. I'm already teasing stuff here, Nick. I'm already making fuck ups because I can't drive the I can't drive the control board here. Yeah, based Superman is definitely better than Fantastic, without a doubt. All right, so we've made it. Oh, I realize our text is clipped a little bit. That's all right. That's par for the course here at SWTS. Remember, we aim to look as low budget as possible. That's kind of our MO, and we're always going to live in that space. If you want
because the budget is low.
Yeah, exactly. If you want well-produced content, go watch Beyond the Dune Sea. All right. They actually put time into it. They have a set. They live next to each other. It's a whole different experience. I still think we're more entertaining to listen to, but if you need the Riz, they got it. Right. Okay, Nick. So we sat down, and we might have talked to our digital companions a little bit. We love our AI over here at SWTS. We're not gonna lie. We tried to incorporate them just like the droids were used in Star Wars. All right. So, we come up with the ideas. We feed it some examples, and then we kind of let it go out and flesh things out for us. So, as I said, at one point we had 18 twists, considering 19. We got together as a triumvirate and whittled it down to 16. So we are going to present to you the 16 most shocking Star Wars plot twists. And we're going to count them down, all right? We're going to start at 16 and work our way to number 1. It may or may not be our individual top moments. Depending on time, maybe we'll see what our top twist is at the end. But this list was formulated from my academic brain, Nick's marketing brain, and of course the brains of millions of artists and scholars and academics through our artificial intelligence. So here we go. I think you might have already seen it if you're on the live stream. But coming in at 16, as a big and shocking plot twist in Star Wars, we have Qi'ra's loyalty to Crimson Dawn. All right, so let me set this up, because you're like, what are you talking about? We knew she was working with Crimson Dawn, and she was kind of Dryden Voss's secretary, side piece. She didn't really know. But Nick, we're watching a movie, and she has an opportunity to leave with Han, kill Han, do whatever she wants. She ends up killing her boss, not leaving with Han, and we realize the reason A, she wanted to kill Dryden when she had her chance, and B, the reason she didn't want to leave with her lover was because she wanted to assume the mantle that Dryden's vacuum was going to leave, and she wanted to report to the top dog in Crimson Dawn, Darth Maul. So that was a pretty big twist when you were watching the Solo movie. It's not so much that she was working with Crimson Dawn, it was that she was willing to kill this crazy guy Dryden, buck her boyfriend, to get more power within Crimson Dawn, and it just so happened to be that Maul was going to grant her that power.
Yeah. I mean, this was a huge one, because essentially the whole movie, you're like, when you're waiting for this reunion between Han and Qi'ra, you were given this awesome story in the beginning about like their relationship and how they were trying to escape Corellia together and all of the things that were going on in their life, and then you finally get to the moment. It's like, oh my gosh, like Qi'ra and Han are together. Like, how is this going to go down? Obviously, in the back of your head, like, well, he ends up with Leia, so like clearly this doesn't work out exactly like we want it to. But boom, yeah, like that big moment where it's like, no, I work for Crimson Dawn, and I will continue to work for Crimson Dawn. That was pretty crazy. And then obviously the seeing Maul on the hollow,
that might have been the biggest twist of them all.
Yeah, like that was pretty crazy. That was awesome.
Yeah, because I guess he would have been running not necessarily Crimson Dawn. I don't know, because was that fresh to us then in Solo, or did we know through? No,
I think we had known through like the animated series that he was working with.
I know he was in the underworld, but kind of like his own deal.
Yeah.
I forget when he actually kind of takes over Crimson Dawn.
I mean, I think what is likely going to happen here is the new Maul show is probably going to kind of lay out everything up to that point. Shadow Lord, so we'll probably get some gaps filled in there.
I think you're right. Yeah. So, and if you read the comics, Kira goes, essentially becomes the leader of Crimson Dawn, pulls like a galactic-wide scam on Jabba the Hutt, trying to ultimately take out the 2 Sith Lords. So, I mean, Kira becomes a pretty major player because of this twist. So, yeah, it definitely earns a spot on this list. All right, this next one I love, and I know, like, Nick, I think you almost, even though you hate this moment with a passion, unlike most fans, it was a twist, and it was shocking, and then it was so shocking that it made you hate the moment, correct? I mean, I'm kind of framing it the right way, right? We're talking about...
I mean, I guess so, yeah.
I can't swim from Andor. Yeah. So, I mean, think about it, Nick. You got this guy. He helps lead the prison escape, but we find out the last minute he can't swim to freedom, which for most fans was a gut punch twist. To you, though, it still was a twist. The twist just didn't hit the way it was intended to. So, still a major twist. It's just funny how even just you and I have fundamentally different takes on the twist.
I guess, yeah. I mean, it was a big twist. Like, oh no, this guy that has been imprisoned in a prison that he knows is above water, that he knows is an ocean-bound prison, all of a sudden realizes when it's time to escape that he can't swim.
Like, see, I just always looked at it as like he always knew that, but he was still willing to get all his boys out, and that's why it was like, oh no, not Kino.
I just think that it's like the Titanic thing for me, right? Like the Titanic thing where Jack could definitely fit on that fucking piece of wood. Like there are hundreds of people jumping off this thing. You don't think that one guy can help you swim to shore?
Yeah.
Like you like there's no thought in your mind that like, oh man, all of these people are jumping out and clearly they can swim. All of them apparently can swim except this guy too. Every one of them knows how to swim except him. And all of them jump in except him. So
I knew we'd get him riled up.
I guess the twist to me is, what does he think is going to happen? That like the Empire's going to show up and be like, you're the only guy who didn't escape. You must be a good prisoner. Yeah. So we're just going to keep you imprisoned here, or they're going to kill you anyway. Like,
I know, like we're never going to agree on this one, but I think we can agree, if anything. It was a big plot twist. It just didn't quite twist you the way most people got twisted.
I'm going to say this. If I'm in the water drowning, I'm not going to be like, hey, I'm drowning, everybody. It's okay, though. I know that some of you can swim and could probably save me, but just let me drown.
Hey,
like that's how
I'm with Divided. He sacrificed himself for the cause.
He didn't sacrifice shit.
One way out, Nick. One way out. One way out. One way out.
Oh my God. It was awful. It was the worst. That's why they didn't bring that character back, because they were like, oh yeah, you know what? If anybody would have helped him, he would have been fine. Like,
okay. All right. Let's calm the young one down. We'll move on to our next big plot twist. So I Can't Swim coming in at 15. What could be at number 14? Ooh, this one is deep, actually. And we can look at this from really a couple different moments. But the one we're going to run with here is There Is Another. Obviously, this comes that once Luke runs away, leaves his training early, and Yoda and Ghost Ben are like, oh, shit, what are we going to do if he gets fucked up? And Yoda casually lets slip like, hey, don't worry about it. If this fucking, Epo fucking hillbilly gets killed, there is another. So, yeah. I mean, obviously, this is the first twist. This is the first kind of reveal of this big twist that ended up being paid off in Return of the Jedi, when Luke finally does learn from Obi-Wan, or he infers from Obi-Wan that Leia is his twin sister. So the whole thing is, if you think about it, the reveal that they're siblings is a twist, but Yoda was the one that kind of first tipped the hat that, hey, we've got a few more of these Skywalker things kind of kicking around the galaxy.
Yeah. That was the big one for the audience, for sure. And actually, if you think about this moment again, it's kind of odd how this particular moment plays out, right? Like they're on Dagobah. Luke is taken off.
Yep.
Obi-Wan's ghost is sitting there like, well, what are we going to do now?
What are we going to do when he gets killed?
But he knows already. Like, it's not like Yoda's revealing. Like, Yoda says it as if he is revealing something to Obi-Wan. But Obi-Wan was there when they were both born.
Yeah. Well, Nick, you're making so many great points, and why sometimes we just gotta give the maker his graces because he told his story out of order and just kind of figured things out on the fly. But I never thought about that with the prequels. A lot of the stuff in the original trilogy does kind of get a little ridiculous.
Yeah. But this one in particular is weird because it's like, well, that Obi-Wan, you were there when they were both born. But yeah, I mean, for us, and then even for, apparently Obi-Wan at that time, because he forgot after he died, he was like, oh yeah, he's got a sister. But yeah, this was a big one. We're like, well, who's the other? What's the other? I mean, like you could piece it together. Like it's probably Leia. Like there were some hints maybe about all that stuff going on. But yeah, like that was a big one. Like there's another Skywalker other than Darth Vader and Luke. So who's the next one? Yeah, who are we gonna introduce ourselves
You made
to?
such a good point. It's like, man, the prequels fuck up all the twists in the OT at this point in time. So you really probably should. I heard Corn Sweat's like you should watch 4, 5, then go back to the prequels, then sit. I'm like, nah, I don't like that. Like that doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know about that one, but yeah, I would always recommend watching the original trilogy first. I just think it's more impactful that way.
All right, so there is another, and then it is officially revealed that the Skywalkers were slightly into incest before they found out what was what. All right, if you're just tuning in here, we're counting down the top 16 Star Wars plot twists. We've made it through 16, 15, now 14. There's another. So what's coming up next? Nobody knows but us. So this one's kind of interesting. And I if you really think about it, it definitely is a twist. One that is revealed to us many decades after the fact, but, no one said twists have to be real time. So what we're talking about here, if you're not following us on the live stream, we're talking about the Death Star's weakness being intentional. All right, we didn't know that. So yes, it was a twist when it is revealed in Rogue One that Galen Erso, who was essentially forced to work under duress by the Empire on the Death Star, in particular its mega beam, he ended up building in the flaw in Project Stardust that he hoped one day would make it to the good guys. And it did, courtesy of his daughter and Cassian, and then Princess Leia and Luke kind of finished the deal. So it was kind of, it wasn't like one of those, I wouldn't call it a shocking twist, Nick, but in terms of a plot, it definitely twisted how we initially kind of came to believe the rebels were able to take down the Death Star.
Yeah, it definitely changes the perception of how it happened. Death Star plans were stolen is all that we knew about it, and they were able to find the weakness in the Death Star plans. Like from 1977 up until when Rogue One released, that was it. We were just like, they got the plans, they found the weakness, boom.
Yeah, exactly. They analyzed the weakness on their 6-bit computer system.
Yeah, exactly. And then you come in and you come into Rogue One, you find out that, about Galen and what the work that he's doing and everything like that. And I think that was a very cool twist. Like somebody knowing the grip that the Empire had on the galaxy, knowing that they were forcing people to work for them, even top tier scientists like Galen Erso, top tier scientists that were building their megastructures were in there planting weaknesses the whole time. I think that was a really cool addition to Death Star lore and to OT lore that really shows you that the rebellion wasn't only happening on the ground,
Yeah,
like with the
exactly.
Aldani heist and stuff like that. Like the rebellion was inside of the Imperial superstructure doing things like this.
Yeah, that I was just to follow up on that point, Nick. I looked at this as like it added more meat to what the Rebel Alliance at large was doing. It wasn't just the Skywalker twins that made this happen. It was literally years and decades of work on by Luthen, the Cells, Saul, the Aldani group, Cassian, you name it. And we have so much more plot now surrounding the Death Star. Hell, we saw that prisoners were helping to make it, and Imperial prisoners were helping to make it. At the end, when we see Deidre getting slotted in the
Yeah.
Narkina 5 to work on Death Star parts, so yeah, it was a pretty good twist. Again, nothing like, oh my god, but it was one of those almost lore twists that you appreciate. Like, okay, cool, that makes sense, and I dig it. So I found this to be a pretty interesting one. All right, so let's move on to our next one. I'll give you everyone a little bit of a tease. This comes from the animated wing of Star Wars, and we're talking about Barriss Offee's betrayal. So, going back, if you remember, this was a whole arc in the Clone Wars here, where essentially Barriss, in the shadows, turns against the Jedi Order and frames her once former friend and Padawan partner, Ahsoka Tano, for it. The Jedi buy it hook, line, and sinker. The Galactic Republic buys it. It gets so bad that Ahsoka is initially suspended from the Order, kicked out more or less, and then when it's found that she didn't do it and it was Barriss, which was the big twist, Ahsoka's like, you know what, fuck you guys, you did that to me, no one had my back. Even Anakin kind of faltered in the end, and it really, Barriss's twist, her betrayal, this twist is what led to Ahsoka and Anakin parting ways, and probably, you could argue, helped push Anakin closer to his turn, and Ahsoka more on her path as a non Jedi. So I always loved this arc, Nick. It was one of the best arcs in Clone Wars, at least from a dramatic standpoint. But to find out that it was another, almost someone from Ahsoka's class that turned not only on her but the Order as a whole, that was a pretty big one.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, like you mentioned, the ramifications of this one were huge, right? Like this is something that could have prevented Anakin's downfall. If this didn't happen, then Ahsoka stays a part of the Order. Like, obviously, that's probably still written in the Force, in the cards, in some way, shape, or form. Like, it would have still happened. But having Ahsoka around for longer may have helped Anakin to keep his mental straight, and maybe he doesn't immediately fall to the dark side when presented the option by Palpatine in his throne room. There's a lot of different things that could have gone different ways if Ahsoka is still in the Jedi Order for episode 3, and like when things are really getting bad. It felt like he was way more willing to have frank conversations with Ahsoka than he was to have those conversations with Obi-Wan Kenobi. So like, could things have gone differently? Obviously another like mole inside of the Order, kind of similar to what we were just talking about with Galen Erso. Like, he was a mole for the rebellion inside of the Imperial side of things. And then Barriss, obviously a mole for the future Imperial side, for the Sith inside of the Republic at the time. I mean, huge things came from this, and obviously set our two of our favorite heroes on their path moving forward.
Nick, you could argue we could have Barriss on this list twice, because she eventually leaves her dark side ways, even after joining the Inquisition, and essentially turns back to light and becomes a healer, and dies at the hand of her former trainer in the Four Sisters. So
yeah,
good old Barriss. It seems like Dr. Penguin's kind of into aliens like myself and Mando Pirates. So, we can't hate on that, Dr. Penguin. There's nothing wrong with a little alien obsession. All right, next up on our list of the top 16 Star Wars plot twists. Where could we go? This is a good one. I argue we could have moved this one a little bit up the list, at least from a fan perspective, but I think I understand why it's coming in around number 11. And this was a more recent one for the Star Wars fandom. And of course, we're talking about Luke Skywalker saving the day at the end of Mandalorian Season 2. I mean, obviously, this is the definition of a plot twist. I'll never forget, Nick, when we were back in the time when we were going through this, breaking it down live, and I was literally on here so fucking confident and arrogant in the fact that they would never need to bring in a superstar like Luke in the series like Mando's. Like, listen, they got Din's his own guy. He's awesome. You got Boba back now. Yeah, nothing. We don't need Luke. I mean, yeah, you want to send Cal Kestis, something like that, or a random Jedi. That's fine. We don't need Luke. And Luke would be stupid, blah, blah, blah. And then lo and behold, the episode comes around. We get towards the end of the episode, and we see the X-Wing. Red 5 comes in. The music starts to kind of churn out. And you see this black hooded figure rolling through, just getting shit up. Like, just getting shit up on Gideon's cruiser there. And then once you see the green in the hilt, you're like, holy shit. They did it. And
he's here.
He's here, and I fucking love it. I'm crying. I'm so excited. This twist, in my mind, like I said, could probably be top 3, top 5, at least from a fan moment perspective. But, Nick, this is a huge one. I mean, I don't know if anyone else saw this coming because, A, you had to do something to make Luke look young again, and deep fakes weren't really a thing back then, at least easily done. And B, we all felt, I know at least people like you and me, like, do we really need to bring in the All-Stars to this series that is actually really great with non-All-Stars? And, hey, they did it, and it truly ended up being a fantastic twist and moment in the end.
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely the last moment for me that I can remember where, like, I did tear up a bit, like in a Star Wars property. Obviously, there's been no movies that's come out since then, and you know the content that's come out has been like all pretty solid. Like, I've enjoyed it all, but like that was the one that like pulled the emotion, the Star Wars emotion out of me again, and like. It was crazy to think about because, like you were saying, the entire time leading up to it, we're like, no way they're going to bring
like
Luke. No way. It's just not going to happen.
I took it to the bank, my friend.
Yeah. Like it was one of those things where, like, even when I was watching it and I see the X-Wing roll up, I was like, there's no way it's him. Like it's just somebody else. Like somebody else. And then, you know, door opens up, green lightsaber goes on, and it's like, what? Yeah, it's like, it was crazy. It was so fun to watch. I think it was well executed. It was a really, really fun thing. And ultimately, like, my worry was like, well, now there's going to be this specter of like, well, Luke Skywalker's here. So anytime something goes bad, you expect Luke to show up. But I think that they've done a pretty good job of not having that turn into an issue. I mean, I know that there was only one more season of the Mandalorian.
We've learned Luke Skywalker, once he won the day, he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'm good. I don't need to help out the galaxy anymore. I'm gonna go explore and maybe start a school, and if I get pissed, then I'll just cancel myself.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, like, what he was looking for was a recruit, right? He was looking for a new Jedi that he could train. He knew Grogu was out there, so he gave it his best shot. Didn't work out with Grogu, and then he went on his merry way of trying to rebuild the Jedi Order, and that's just kind of how things are sitting now. But I enjoyed this one. This one was fun. This one felt like a big moment, especially
awesome.
For like OT fans.
From the moment he shows up till the credits roll, it's some of the most emotionally charged Star Wars in all of existence. I mean, you get the Luke stuff, you get fucking Din taking his helmet off and saying goodbye to Grogu. That's all touching, and then fucking R2 rolls in, which is, you know, still is going to give you that nostalgia high that these OT characters can elicit. Just fantastic stuff. All right, that is a good one, but we're about ready to move on to the next one. This is coming in at number 10 on our countdown of the biggest Star Wars plot twist, and this one is major. I don't think anyone saw this coming, and I wish I remember experiencing it for the first time, but I can't. I just can't, and I'm talking about Darth Maul fucking lives. Okay? We had this awesome character introduced live action in The Phantom Menace, played by Ray Park. fans are instantly like, this guy is a god. I love him. He looks great. He's awesome. He's awesome with a lightsaber. He's got a fucking bow staff lightsaber. He can hold his own against Jedi. He killed a master in Qui-Gon. And just as you're like, your love is growing for this character, George decides to cut him in half and kick him down, seemingly a bottomless pit. So you're like, all right, well, there's that. And then, Nick, it would have been what? Let me see. I mean, probably close to 10 years later, if not longer, he shows up again in like season 3 or 4 of the Clone Wars, and you go, okay, does this work? Can I justify this? And after a while, you're like, you know what? Fuck it. Sure, I can. It's Darth Maul, and he's back, and I love where things could go.
Yeah, it was. I think that this was the tipping point, right? Where it was like, we can bring one clearly dead person back, so let's just bring them all back. Honestly, I do like it because Maul was a character that deserved more context, that deserved more content.
Clearly, I mean, they're still
time.
making content for him now, Nick. So I mean, clearly,
I wonder, like, ultimately, what I really wonder is like, clearly George saw a future for this character if he had like his treatment for the sequel trilogy involved
10 years later.
So like, why well, one, like, I know you had to get rid of him. Like, ultimately you couldn't have Maul stick around all the way through the prequel trilogy, but like, why not tease that he's still alive in a bigger way, right? Because even to this day, most people didn't know that Maul was still alive until they saw him in Solo, because he was really just like, he was only in animated stuff, and he had never made his way back to live. Even like the live action, the big live action shows like Mando and stuff like that never showed up. And then his face pops on Solo, and people are like, Darth Maul is still alive? What?
Right. Yeah.
What do you mean he's still alive?
Fall down a hole? Nick, it's before they invented, end credit scenes. They could have an end credit in TPM where you hear him down in the hole just going, Kenobi!
Just something like that.
All my legs.
Yeah, that would have been perfect. But yeah, I mean, this one is one that's obviously a huge twist for those of us that like witnessed it in real time. We're like, what the fuck is going on?
Then you see him again. His horns are out of control. He's literally, he's created spider legs for himself down in that dumpster.
Dude, it was a wild moment, a fantastic moment, and it's a moment that gave us something that I really enjoy, which is fucking Sam Witwer Maul.
Yep.
That dude, Sam Witwer, kills it as Darth Maul, is a Star Wars connoisseur, and
he is Darth Maul. Like, I know Ray brought him to life and played him again in Solo, but he never got to voice him for real. So I mean,
I think Ray had like 2 lines, and it wasn't even him. He didn't even voice those.
No, it's not even him. They dub it over. So Sammy Boy's definitely Maul, and I'm excited to see where what Shadow Lord gives us for this awesome character that gave us our number 10 ranked plot twist. All right, Mr. Maul. Moving on. Who's coming up next, or what is coming up next in our
Dr. Penguin
countdown? Yeah, that's right. If Dr. Penguin's still here, guess what? Your wish has been answered. Yes. As sucky as it is, I mean, listen, I was there. I was at Celebration Chicago when they announced that Ian was back, meaning Palpatine was back. And I'm not gonna lie, I was like, yeah, because I wasn't thinking straight. I was in the auditorium. I was caught up in the fanfare. I knew a trailer was coming. I was just like, oh yeah, Palpatine, that's awesome. And then I just kind of stopped thinking about it. And then you get closer to The Rise of Skywalker, and they do the Fortnite thing, and then you get the line from Poe in the fucking movie, somehow Palpatine has returned. And then you find out Rey is now a Palpatine through an aborted clone baby of his, and it just, the ridiculousness just keeps ratcheting up over this plot twist. And so much so that this is, like League is saying here, I think, Nick, for the fact that it is such a bad plot twist justifies its high ranking, even though I don't even like giving it credit for being a plot twist by giving it a top 10 ranking. But League has a point. It was so tragic. It was so badly thought out, so ill-received, that it definitely earns a spot on this list and probably does warrant a top 10 because of how egregious this twist was.
Yeah. I mean,
this one's unique compared to the other ones, right? It's a twist because it's bad. It's a bad twist.
And I think that here's my opinion on this
divided.
twist.
So hold on. It's funny how somehow Maul lives is cool, but not Palps. Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
But and here's the thing is it should be the opposite way, right? Like Palpatine's ultimate goal, which he made no secret of when he was in the opera house with Anakin in episode 3, was find a way to live forever. Like that was his ultimate goal.
Yeah, the guy it's like kind of the Sith mantra, right, Nick? I mean, that's all of them, at least since DP.
Yeah, and like that was what he had been working towards his entire life, is to skirt death, to find a way to cheat death. So ultimately, when we find out that Palpatine found a way to cheat death, we shouldn't be all that surprised. Like he had been working for that for decades, for his entire life. I think the problem is how they executed it. Like it could have been executed better, but ultimately Palpatine coming back at the end is in line with what we were pitched in the prequel trilogy by George, when he's sitting there talking to Anakin, like, Darth Plagueis the Wise found a way to cheat death. How did he die? I killed him. Like
Nick, it's just another one of those conundrums where the prequels essentially damage the OT, because at the end of Return of the Jedi and throughout the OT, it's never they don't dive into any of the Sith arcane shit.
Yeah.
Like it's not made aware that Palpatine has a hard on for living forever. It's never discussed that he's got something on Exegol. It's all been kind of backfilled to make up for Palpatine lives. Because at the end of Return of the Jedi, it's pretty clear he was dead. Like,
yeah, I mean the motherfucker exploded and like
dead.
Yeah, and like his body there was dead for sure, and then obviously we find out about essence transfer and all that.
Apparently,
stuff.
You can transfer an essence like to secret parts of the galaxy too, and on a whim, like just as you're falling down a shaft, essence transfer, go, and it just like
So I don't know, but yeah, it's one of those things where I think that it didn't come out of left field. Like this isn't something that was like, what? Where did this come from? How did this? What? We never heard anything about this, because we did in 2005. Like in 2005, motherfucker laid it out.
It still sucked. It still was a sucky plot twist.
But they executed it poorly, for sure. I think it could have been done better. I don't even think that you really needed to use Palpatine's body. I think you could have found a different way to do it. But yeah, ultimately it fell flat. You could blame Fortnite. You could blame a lot of different things. God. You could blame Fortnite, but just ultimately,
it was no good.
Did not pan out the way that
definitely deserves to be on this list, but it's not one of the better narrative plot twists out there. It's actually it felt more for convenience than shock or anything else. All right, our next twist, we're actually going to stick within the sequel trilogy universe. We're going to go to everyone's favorite sequel movie. But I'm not gonna lie. This was definitely a major twist. Whether you like it or not, the fact that Luke was never truly on Crate was a big reveal in The Last Jedi. I mean, we saw the kind of the dyad doing their force projections, but it was more they would stay in their own area until that one time Kylo showed up on the island right before Luke went nuts. But we had no clue. I mean, we figured Luke, he was just going to remain a curmudgeon on the island in his robe, watching the force tree burn down with Yoda. We knew he wasn't leaving. His X-Wing was buried. We didn't see him raise it. So when you first saw this movie and you see him show up, you're like, oh, fuck, he did it. Like, she got to him. He even cleaned himself up. Look at that. He's got a new suit on. He cut his fucking hair. He looks a lot better.
Dyed his hair?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he's interacting with Leia, and people can see him. We didn't know what to look for. I mean, we watched him walk out, and he talks shit to Kylo, and he brushes that off, fights Kylo, and it's not until Kylo makes the death blow that it's first revealed that Luke was never there. And again, Nick and we've made fun of this. I mean, it's no one really loves how Luke Skywalker ends up going out. He literally forces too hard. I mean, forces too hard. Think about it. He forced too hard as a Skywalker, which just doesn't seem to make any sense. But it did result in a major, major plot twist that I don't think anyone had any clue was actually happening until Kylo thrust it through his see-through guts.
Yeah. Yeah, it was one of those moments where you're watching it and you're like, "Oh man." It does pull you even if you don't like that film, even if you're not a big TLJ fan, the first time you watch that fight between Kylo and
Hey,
Luke
Plastic
on
Warriors, how you
Crait,
doing? You've been talked to. There you go.
it was a moment where you're like, "Oh gosh, this is it. This is the moment. Ah, it's such a cool fight." Like the
Yay,
way
Luke.
that it was
Luke's
shot.
being Luke. Luke's doing what Luke
y-
should do.
and then the moment, the big twist, and then you're like, wow. I mean, it was impressive, like, oh wow, he can like project himself like this in like a semi-physical way
Then you're like, oh,
onto a
wow, it
different
killed
planet.
him.
And then yeah, and you're like, wait, what? At the end you're like,
Uh,
what do you mean he just disappeared and died? Like that's it? That's how Luke Skywalker goes out?
yeah.
I mean, look, I will say this, it's not as bad as the Palpatine twist, like in terms of like how it ends, but it ain't good either. Like that's the way that Luke Skywalker goes out forever and ever, and like that's fucking sad. Like,
Yeah, again, I'm not like Mr. The Last Jedi ruined my life. I've talked about it before. I don't mind the movie at all. I actually think it has a lot of great stuff to it. What what always has rubbed me the wrong way is not so much Luke banishing himself; it's the way he reacted to his former best friends in Chewbacca and in R2 and even his goddamn sister. It seemed a little out of character. But oh well, we're not here to poop on the TLJ. Plastic Warriors, who is your favorite Star Wars character? I think we've done this before. I'm always going to stick with Anakin / Vader. I can't help it. Nick, what was yours? I forget. I know you had one though. Was it
like
Han?
mine always changes. I like Han Solo's character arc. I think that in
Yeah.
the OT his character arc is probably the best of the three.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Luke has a pretty massive one too, going from
Mhm.
hillbilly to galactic savior, but it's not as it doesn't seem as drastic as Han goes from seemingly a low life scoundrel to a reluctant hero. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
All
like
right.
he goes from like an anti-hero to a true
To a
hero. And
hero.
like Luke's story, like as soon as he sees Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's in the hut, you're like, this kid is going from farm boy to
Correct.
Jedi. Like that,
Yeah.
it's just like that's just
He has a
his arc.
destiny. Yeah, he has a
Yeah.
destiny. Fate is
And
gonna touch this kid.
yeah, and I feel like Hans was a little bit more twisty turny and like it could have gone different ways, but like he ultimately is the good guy in the end, and General Solo.
That's
There we
right.
go.
All right, Nick, let's get out of the sequel trilogy. We're moving down our list of the top Star Wars plot twists. We're about to reveal number 7. This is one again I will always remember. It's up there in terms of like just Star Wars fan memories with the Luke arrival, with no, I'm your father, that type of stuff. But when it's revealed that the 50-year-old bounty that Din was tasked with getting was a fucking baby Yoda, I can't think of a bigger shock than the whole father son thing. And even then, unless you got to kind of consume that raw, it was probably spoiled for you because it's decades old. Where this was brand new. I mean, this was what, 2018 when Disney Plus hit. Right there in the
Mhm.
premiere episode, we don't really know shit about anything about the Mandalorian outside. It's going to be about this guy Din Djarin, and they just set you up to be so shocked, right, Nick? They're like, oh yeah, it's 50 years old. You're like, okay, well fuck, it's an adult clearly. They have that awesome shootout with those
Mhm.
Nikto gang, and then
Yep.
him and IG roll
IG-11s
in,
and
and it's revealed it's this little baby, and IG's ready to zap it out of frame. He gets zapped himself in the head, and Din just sits there staring at the bounty like, what the fuck? And then you have that arm reach out and the finger point, and that itself is an iconic frame. So everything about this twist to me is just iconic Star Wars moment.
yeah, I mean, this moment alone is what
Exploded
launched Star Wars TV. Like, and honestly, like this is probably what prevented them from continuing development in a more serious way on films, because they were like, holy shit, what?
Yeah.
Like, we can get,
Struck
you
gold
know,
with this little green thing.
yeah, like clearly we have something here. So let's like focus on this, shift our focus away from films for a little bit. COVID time, like who knows what the fuck is going to happen with the movies? Like nobody knew. Everybody was just assuming like, well, movie theaters are dead. Like that, those will never come back. Like, so let's focus on making our original content on our streaming service. And they did. And like, it's turned into the massive beast that the Star Wars live action television franchise has turned into. And like, literally like changed the way that people consume Star Wars in mass. Like it's not only a big twist for the universe, but like a big twist for us, like Star Wars consumers. Like I always assumed that like, all right, Disney's got it. We're going to be getting movies every so often again. And like, that is how we will consume Star Wars moving forward, is like films. And now
That is a
we're
good
like,
point.
oh,
That's like a real life
like,
Star Wars twist. It went from
yeah,
a Star Wars story movie plans to no, we're just doing TV moving forward.
yeah. Like long form TV is now where Star Wars lives. And like we really, like, since 2019 we haven't gotten a movie yet. Like, and the development cycle for Star Wars has been so focused on live action TV that like, you know, we really haven't even thought about going to the theaters to see a Star Wars movie for the last 6 years.
That
Like
is
it's
true.
wild.
This man does not lie. So yeah, this one's a huge one. Definitely warrants being on the list, and just one of those moments that I think is unforgettable in the Star Wars universe. All right, we're starting to get close to the top 5 here, but before we do that, we've got number 6, and this is one sadly I know young Nick has not experienced, so I'll just kind of take the lead on this one. But hey, we're covering all aspects of the Star Wars when we're doing our biggest plot twist breakdown. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and throw in Bodhi Akuna being a spy from Jedi, not Fallen Order, but it was the second one. So anyways, Nick,
Survivor.
I'll kind of Survivor. I'll set this up for you. But this Bodhi guy, essentially, you learn, has teamed up with Cal. They're going around kind of fucking up the Empire, and good part through the game, it's not only revealed that Bodhi is, I believe, an Imperial spy or spy in general, but that he also is Force sensitive. So it was 2 major shocks. Like, I mean, literally, you and Bodhi are kind of the team for the entire game. You do some big stuff, and right when you kind of secure the MacGuffin, he kind of pulls this shit on you as the player. And I remember it was a shocking twist. It's like, damn, here we go again, creating more Force survivors that got away from Order 66. But it was just a genuine good narrative twist for this game, because your partner, who you thought was with you, who went through some shit with you, ends up turning on you at a very dire moment. So I know you can't really say much to this one, Nick, but I can assure you it was a pretty memorable twist from the video game space of Star Wars.
There you go. Good stuff.
Well, that's good. That just helps us recoup a little time. So here we go, people. We're about to break into our top 5 Star Wars plot twists, potentially influenced by the machines, but we will accept it for what it is. And this was a big one. Sequel trilogy moment. Everyone remembers it. I don't care how much you hate the sequel trilogy or The Last Jedi, but this moment was a huge twist, a major shock. And we're talking about Kylo killing his master Snoke. So say what you will about this movie, but they build up some amazing tension between Snoke, Rey, and Kylo during these scenes. So much so that you're fully bought in when Rey is on her knees and Kylo's behind her, and Snoke is narrating what he foresees is about to happen in Kylo killing her. Yet Kylo is doing what he wants to do, and he's positioning the family blade in a way that, when ignited, would cut Snoke in half. And it's just, Nick, you hear Snoke, he's so fucking arrogant and cocky, delivering that, and then he turns the blade and kills his foe. And right when he says that, it's like, bleh! He gets cut in half. Rey grabs the lightsaber, and we get to the fight there. So Kylo killing Snoke, I don't think anyone had that on their bingo card. No one even really knew who Snoke was yet. He was a huge mystery. And just as he was getting more screen time and actually in the flesh, not just a hologram, his Padawan, his apprentice takes him out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that, like you were mentioning, what really makes this moment is like that narration by Snoke, the slow tension building. It was such a, like, you're on the edge of your seat when you're watching that, regardless of like your thoughts on the film now. Like the first time you see that, you're like, holy shit, like what is going on? Like you see the saber moving, you hear the narration, like the tension is building, it's building, it's building. And then ultimately to the moment that you mentioned gets cut in half, the fight breaks out from there. I mean, like it was such a cool building of tension and then diffusion the moment that he was killed. It was absolutely fantastic. Um, yeah, I mean, I think that this one, regardless of your thoughts on the sequel trilogy as a whole, it was just so cool to watch the first time that you saw it, for sure.
Yeah, definitely twisty. So much so it was twisting lightsabers through people's guts. You know what I mean? So great
Indeed.
twist here, coming in at number 5. All right. Number 4 in our list of Star Wars plot twists. Another big one here. This coming from the animated wing. And we have Ezra saving Ahsoka with time travel. So this one, Nick, it's such a big twist because it actually required seasons worth of time to pass. Because I believe Ahsoka has her fight with Vader in season 2, and I do not think we get the world between world until almost the end of season 4. So it's a major twist because fans are like, well, is Ahsoka dead? How'd she get out of there? That temple on Malachor just came crashing down. There was no way she could have made it. But it is revealed that it not only did she make it, but the only reason she made it is because Ezra used Star Wars time travel, the world between worlds, to pop out at the exact moment and suck her into the world between worlds so she could remain safe. And then she popped back into her own timeline at the end to get away from Malachor. So
Yeah.
I mean, Nick, you could argue the biggest part of this twist is the introduction of Star Wars time travel.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I think that we had Star Wars up to this point. This came out in what, like 2012, 13, somewhere around there?
No, you got to
Or
remember
later?
Rebels is Disney, so it's going to
Yeah,
be
oh yes,
probably
yes,
like
yes. So it's
16,
probably
17,
16,
18, something
17.
like that.
Yeah, so we're over 50 years into Star Wars
Right.
by the time this comes out, and like never have we ever thought about Star Wars time travel. Like people have joked about it and stuff like that, and like even in the video games, even in like the old Republic video games, never really touched time travel. And then you do it this way. But I will say, if you're gonna do it in any way, saving Ahsoka Tano from death by collapsing temple is probably the moment to do it. I mean, Ahsoka was obviously a fan favorite all the way back from Clone Wars time period, and now we still have her around for the new content that's coming out
We're
now.
shooting season 2 as we speak.
That is right. And I think it was a moment where it was like, holy shit, like we've now, when you first saw it, this was my thought. I was like, okay, like now the game has changed, right? Like we now have time travel in Star Wars. So what the hell is going to happen with this now being unlocked? But the way that they've been able, because it's dangerous when you do that, when you start to unlock time travel in like expansive universes like Star Wars, like shit can get weird real fast. But I think that the creatives have done a good job of not really tapping into that and staying. It's like, we know that this exists, but we are just not going to use it. Like we're just not going to do
Yeah, I
it.
mean, they sprinkled it in a little bit in that episode in Ahsoka, but like you said, it was very well done and used to just
Mhm.
allow Anakin to kind of take Ahsoka on a journey through her life to kind of inform her, hey, this is where you've been, this is who you become. Now you need to kind of fucking pick yourself up and decide what you want to do. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, time travel, as just ask the MCU. I'm pretty sure whenever they figure out what they need to do to kind of ensemble this bitch or whatever the Doomsday movie's going to be, it's probably going to be because of not necessarily time travel, but because of how abusive the MCU has gotten with the multiverse. So it's kind of
exactly.
the same
Earth
shit. You know what I mean?
313 and Earth whatever.
Well, exactly. I
all
mean,
that shit,
Fantastic Four. I don't really think this is a spoiler.
No.
They don't. It does not take place on the prime MCU Earth. Okay, it's like Earth 818 or something like that. Okay, so yeah, big one here. Number 4 in our most shocking Star Wars plot twist is Ezra's world between worlds save of Ahsoka. All right, this next one again. It was a big twist, but I fucking hate it. So much so that it has left a black eye on the sequel trilogy for me. Discounted a character that I was pretty high on from the sequel trilogy, and just kind of reiterated that no one, unless you're a Skywalker or a famous somebody, could be powerful in the Force. And I'm talking about Rey Palpatine. You know, listen, man, the whole sequel trilogy was kind of set up like, who is Rey? I mean, it kicks off in TFA. You get a bit of a flashback to start teasing it. You know, she was dropped off at a young age. Then we get into The Last Jedi, and you know, she's a nobody. She's like, what am I? Why? How do I have these powers? Where do I fit in? And they're kind of going, well, yeah. You can be powerful without being a Skywalker. And then we show up at Rise of Skywalker, and we find out through Kylo in a horrible scene, Rey, you're a Palpatine. And it's just awful. Like, to me, this is another one, Nick, where the twist is high up just because of how fucking tragic of a narrative move it truly was.
Yeah, I think that this is the cautionary tale. This is the best cautionary tale in Star Wars, because if you break down Rey's journey through the 3 movies, it's really sad, because I do think that Daisy did as well as she could portraying this character.
She wasn't given a lot to go off of.
But like TFA, you get this character, like you said, you find her on desert planet. Like, who is she? Don't know her parents. She was left there when she was a kid. At the end of TFA, she has the moment where she interacts with the Skywalker family blade and has this incredible vision where Obi-Wan Kenobi is speaking to her like through the Force in her vision.
Rey,
like,
these are your first steps.
Like, all of these things. You're like, oh my gosh, like she's somebody. She's somebody. Like, it's the first hint that she's somebody, right? Yeah. Like, and the lineage to you is clear. Like, this happened when she interacted with this blade, with this iconic Star Wars Skywalker family blade. Okay. We get to TFA, or we get to TLJ. Never fucking mentioned again. You get the moment where it's like, you're nobody. Like, you're a nobody. You're Rey from nowhere. Nobody cares who you are, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. So her journey shifts again. Like, she's Rey from nowhere. She's not somebody of import, even though in the first movie, it is almost handed to you on a silver platter that she's somebody, or she's related to somebody. Third movie comes around. We're no longer nobody. We're no longer Skywalkers. We're Palpatines now. So like, for me, this is the twist that is like, before that should teach every creator who is working in Star Wars or any other multi-film universe, like, make sure when you're doing shit like this that you have at least the through line for your main character figured out. Like, I don't care what else happens in these movies. Like, you could keep them all the fucking same, but like, Rey is your main character, unquestionably. Like, are there ensemble pieces around her? For sure. But she's the main character through line for all 3 of these movies. And you should have her, you should say, from fucking piece of film 1, from second 1 of the camera running, this is what her general story arc is. Like, she is introduced to you as a nobody, but we know from the beginning that she is a whatever. She is a Skywalker. She's a Palpatine. She's a whatever. Because at the very least, if this was the story the whole way through, that she was a Palpatine, at least you have 3 movies to make that make sense, right?
Yeah.
And then you get to the reveal, and it doesn't feel as out of left field as it does.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
But like, it's a twist that is also a cautionary tale for creators. Make sure that you have this shit
Or
figured out
listen to you
before
and me.
right.
Remember our twist?
Yeah.
We're like,
Yeah.
listen, she was essentially a solo kid.
Yeah,
And,
she was
and
she was the next solo kid.
and they realized that, like, hey, we fucked up. Han and Leia, we're not on good terms. What are we doing fucking making more babies? And B, her big brother is already starting to go sideways, so we need to fucking get rid of her. Just think about it, just like done for her and her brother. Like, hey,
yeah,
we can't have these motherfuckers next to each other or anywhere that their dad or their dad's boss could sniff them out. So that's how Nick and I were hoping the Rey's reveal, like she would have been his young lost sister. But hey, here we are. She's a Palpatine. It was a twist. It just happens to be a really sucky one. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. I'm getting packing questions right now. Sorry.
Oh, all good. But yeah, final 2 coming up soon, everybody. And these 2, I think that people, if you are familiar with the Star Wars universe, you can probably agree that these were the 2.
Yeah, I mean, the one is so blatantly obvious. It's there's like zero drum roll for it. But I will say that this second one, I had to fight our AI companion on. And once I fought it, it actually did. It was like, oh, yeah, you're right. This is a pretty big twist. Might not be fully canon, but it ranks high up there for many fans. And we're talking about You Are Revan. And I'll never forget this. I mean, it's why KOTOR, to me, is still the greatest Star Wars game ever made. But you're playing this. That's the other thing. You got to like somehow. It's hard for people that might have played 50 different iterations of it, or if you played it many years after its release. But if you try to put your head in the mind at the time, you know, I'm still in my early 20s. You know, gaming isn't what it is now. It was still all kind of is very console specific, and we didn't have all the bits and all these graphics cards. And you're like, oh, BioWare, they're making a Star Wars game, and it's an RPG, and you're going to have choice, and it's going to affect how you turn out, and blah, blah, blah. And then the game comes, and it's fucking awesome, right? And you're playing this faceless character, and you're going to all these different planets, and you're slowly learning things about your past and the amnesia you're having. And then right towards the end, Nick, it's revealed to you that all along, you, the player, have been this Revan character that everyone has been talking about and with such fear or disdain, or in some aspects when you're in the temples in high regard. And it was just like, I don't think anyone could even remotely fathom that was going to be the reveal. And that's why it is such a massive Star Wars plot twist.
Yeah. I mean, it was, I mean, I think it's still regarded as probably the best Star Wars game ever made.
Yeah, I mean, what beats it, honestly? I mean, Outlaws, while it was good, it clearly was not great to the point where it barely sold any fucking copies.
Yeah, I think that a kid like this game hit at the right time. Like you said, this was like BioWare before BioWare fell apart. Like this was like peak BioWare, even going into like, you know, they hadn't even really, they didn't even make the first Mass Effect yet. Like the first Mass Effect game hadn't even come out yet. So this was like pre-Mass Effect. This was when BioWare was like really coming up and doing some interesting stuff with games. And then you get this huge Star Wars game release with this awesome story around it, and You Are Revan. It was such a huge moment. I remember playing through this and like really being hit by it in a way that I was like, oh my gosh, like
Jesus.
this whole time. And it was like one of the first twists in a video game that really was like, what? Like I've been playing, and like at the point it's like you've probably been playing the game 20-30 hours at least.
Yes,
like you're into it.
It's like going into final mission, isn't it? I mean, you're basically going to the final mission.
Yeah, so like you could, like realistically, you could have been playing this game for 60 hours because that's how expansive KOTOR is. Like KOTOR is a game that you can really sink a lot of time into if you want to. And to like be that far into a game where you feel like you have your character really figured out, and then all of a sudden, boom, You Are Revan. Like
you
that
think
changes
it's you.
especially.
I mean, you think the whole time you're the character. You know, you're playing, you're making all the choices, and you realize like, oh shit, no, I've been driving Revan's brain around here, and that's fucking awesome. So
yeah, and it's like you not only have you built the story for your character, like you were saying, like you have now determined what Revan's story is up to this. Like it was fantastic.
Does he break good or does he break bad again? So yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic twist. It's one out there. If you're a diehard Star Wars fan, you consider yourself a fanboy or a girl, and you have not played it, you have to. I know some of you might be waiting for this remake of remakes, and hopefully it is a thing, because I really think this is a game that could benefit at this point, 20 plus years later, being redone for modern consoles and audiences. Yes. But if that never happens, you still got to get out and get one of the 5,000 versions of it and give it a play. I mean, you can play it on your fucking phones at this point in time. So this is an unskippable Star Wars experience, whether you're a gamer or not. All right.
Absolutely.
Well, my friends and young Nick, we have made it to the top Star Wars plot twist of all time. If you've been keeping score, it's not hard to guess what it's going to be, but it is the "No, I am your father" reveal. And yes, that's how he says it. He never says Luke. Because remember, he's responding to an accusation from little whiny Luke. He's like, "No! No, I am your father." So yeah, I mean, come on. This is one that I kind of wish I was a bit older, because it's really hard for me to even remember the reveal. I know it did something to me, but I was so damn young that it probably did not resonate as hardcore as it did for people that were, you know, adults or teens when they saw this happening. But Nick, this had to have been the shock of the 80s or 1980 in pop culture. I can't even imagine what some of the headlines were, what some of the critiques and reviews were when this was dropped. So yeah, the I am your father is as overplayed as the quote is, it still is one of the biggest twists in American cinema, period, not just Star Wars.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and I think we had talked about this years ago, but like the reception in like the critical reception to that twist was not good. People were not super happy about that. Like, so people were not super happy about Vader being Luke's father, but like it is an iconic twist. It is a twist that really made this film franchise what it is, which is like a film franchise that is focused on familial bonds, whether it be like chosen family or, you know, an actual family bond. And it was a thing, like I said, I was probably 10 years old when I saw it too. So like the impact did not land the way that it would if I was older. And I had already, like, at the time that I had seen it too, like it had already been like, you had heard it before. You hear Luke, I am your father everywhere. Like I wasn't alive in 1980 to see it when it came out in theaters. So by the time that I did see it, it's like every kid, whether they had seen Star Wars or not, puts their face behind a box fan and says, Luke, I am your father. Like, you just know. Like, that's just what you do.
We need a Fred. Like, that's the one thing we miss on this show is a Fred. I know I tried to do it and it never worked out, but that would be a great drop to record. Nick doing the fan trick. Luke, I am your father.
Like it's just like you even do it now. Like if you have a box fan,
of course, dude. Yeah, it's just like it's Pavlovian at this point in time for most people. And like I said, I know I experienced it raw. I was just too young to even remember, which sucks. Like I know I was in, and I got it before box fan reveal, but I just it's more or less the reaction has been deleted. So yeah. This is a big one, but I'll tell you what, Gregu Snap's coming through with a fantastic honorable mention that I know young Nick will like. Here you go, Nick, a plot twist. Honorable mention coming from Greggy Boy. The Darksaber being heavy.
Bro, that one.
That's a good one.
That one. Talk about a twist there.
That is a plot twist, right? You know, they're whipping that thing around left and right until that little episode in the Book of Boba Fett. where he's sparring with the armorer, and all of a sudden he can't. It's like a fucking sledgehammer.
Yeah. Yes. This Darksaber is so heavy because you are not meant to wield it,
I love
even
it.
though before that, totally fine. Everybody else, clearly, Gideon clearly meant to wield
cuts himself out of a fucking TIE fighter pod.
Yeah,
No problem.
no problem there. Like, oh gosh, that one was, man. Thank you, Greg, for bringing that one
that's
back
a good
up.
way. Good way to end the countdown there with the little bonus plot twist: the Darksaber becoming overwhelmingly heavy, even though it's made of light energy. So
Yeah.
Oh shit!
Absolutely.
You always gotta love the fans in the live stream. Come have some fun with us Wednesday nights, 5:30 p. Eastern, as close as we can get. YouTube.com/Star Wars Time Show. All right, well, Nick, speaking of the fans, it's time to close out another episode of SWTS, number 365, in fact. And we always do it by dedicating the final segment to our fans. We got question of the week responses coming back up, so same with Ask Us Anything. Just follow us on our socials, look for the prompts, get involved. You're probably going to have to turn on notifications because all of our shit gets instantly buried by the algos, even though we have been extremely friendly to our artificial intelligence for at least the past year. It does not matter. The social AIs do not like us. The productive AIs do, and we need the social ones. So anyways, the question of the week, we always gear it towards our main topic. So we asked the fans, Nick, what are they thinking when it comes to Star Wars plot twists? What do they consider to be their biggest plot twist from Star Wars?
There we go. I will, before I read the responses, 365 episodes. You can listen to Star Wars every day for a whole year.
Jesus.
Star Wars Time Show every day.
Yeah,
and
we need to get a job
a new
or
episode.
We need to get jobs.
Oh my. There we go. So yes, if you are looking to do a challenge, do the Star Wars Time Show challenge. Listen to
oh my god! Like I don't know if I want people listening to episodes 1 through like 200 because those are some fucking. I could never run for political office. Well, I mean, in this day and age, you can do whatever you want in politics.
You would be elected immediately.
Yeah, but if it was back to where being a good person mattered in politics, I'm that show. The early days of the SWTS would have me canceled in a heartbeat.
That's right.
Yeah, maybe just start with the ones that are on the Star Wars Time YouTube channel.
Yeah, don't dig up the ones on
Greg. Yeah, Gregu remembers the day. Like Gregu, that's not even like the dark days of SWTS. Gregu remembers our initial days live streaming where we do 3 to 4 hours slogs. I mean, we go from 2:30 to like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We were psychopaths.
What the fuck was wrong with us, man? Oh, pandemic and shit, I guess. All right.
Yeah, we had time to kill. But anyway.
Crap. Go ahead, young Nick. What did the fans have to say?
The question responses. Yeah, that is right. So starting off with Divided Skywalker, spoiler alert, Luke's father was not literally killed by Darth Vader. He is Darth Vader. Also, the whole Luke Force projection thing was pretty unexpected. So
it's good having Divided back. She's been out enjoying the summer. It's good to have her pop in and participate. I like it.
That's right. Thank you, Divided.
Brazen. Matt used to yell a lot more. Yeah, that's for damn sure. Holy shit.
Hey, this is post therapy Matt that we're dealing with now. He can control his anger better.
I'm not kidding, people. There's pretty much every Wednesday when I would pop my earbuds out. For the next 2 or 3 hours, I just sit there and be like, what the fuck did I just say on camera and mic? Like, what did I say? How's it going to be used against me? Am I going to get arrested? Am I going to get fired, canceled? You name it. I mean, that literally, I'm being real. Like, there would be some post-show nights, Nick. I'd be like, oh, man. Should I just delete that fucking episode before two more people see it?
Cut some stuff out. This was sauced up Matt. This was Matt with some beer in his system. With a grudge, ready to go.
Oh yeah, Bates remembers all the good stories. My rage as a kid, taking out TV knobs, putting elbows through drywall, spray painting my walls, spitting on TVs, all from playing video games. The rage is still there. I've just squished it down a bit more with some
Yeah.
help. So
He
we'll
can control it better. He's like Bruce Banner now. He can control the rage.
I'm always angry. That's how I control it now. All right.
That's right.
Next
All
up,
right. Next up we got Phil. He says, I mean, it's hard to argue against the original Vader reveal, but for a second choice, I'll say the Grogu reveal in Mando season 1, episode 1. There we go, Phil. There we go. Two good ones there.
We got some good nostalgia coming through. Gregu remembers when your house, didn't your bathroom like fall through one of the episodes?
There was in my old house. There was a vent.
Yeah, but explain. It wasn't old. It was brand new.
It was a brand new house that was just built, but it's not the house that I live in now. We were doing the show, and the vent in the bathroom ceiling that everybody has in their bathroom literally just fell out of the ceiling onto the toilet, and I thought like a comet had come through my house or some shit.
Man.
I didn't know what happened.
Yeah.
That again, old school great. Pandemic era live stream.
That was awesome. I mean, you guys literally commissioned a new house, lived in it for like a year and a half, and then flipped it and upgraded. I mean, that was amazing. Amazing.
Yeah, that was what you could do in Austin at that time. That ain't happening in Austin anymore.
No.
Not
You guys made a good move there. So
yeah, we hit the market at the right time.
So I always like when the old timers are in here. Yeah, Bass and Brazen and Bozo Fett. That is probably the
Bozo Fett one.
That's peak insane Matt right there. That was peak
that
insane
one was
Matt.
That
TV falling off the wall.
Yeah. At a certain point, we might have to do a ranking of Matt
show moments. Yeah, Matt's fucking pop offs.
Yeah,
holy shit! The Bozo rant literally eliminated like 80% of our initial audience. They were multiple people tuned out after that. I just sat there and started literally dressing people down by name and telling them why they're stupid and wrong. It was pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
Oh well. Even Tones almost quit after that one, but he hung on.
Tones got upset for a bit.
Yeah, he didn't like that shit. All right, I'll stop. Okay, next one.
All right, next up, Mando Pirate says finding out that the bounty Din was after was 4 cents of child that looked like Yoda. Mm-hmm. There we go. Mm-hmm. And League chimes in saying that was a mega plot twist. EKU Rory says he can't swim. I don't know why he's telling us that he can't swim. I don't understand how that's.
I don't think he can either. So I think this is just an omission.
Yeah, he's just like I can't swim.
Or an admission. Like, okay, an omission is release.
Yeah, admission, omission is.
I'm a fucking idiot. Okay.
There we
Nick,
go.
you talk. I'm done talking, dude.
Now we all know that EKU Rory cannot swim. Thank you for that information. Moving on. League of Extraordinary Sixers. She says Order 66 is a big twist overall. Lando's betrayal on Cloud City. That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
We had some Lando stuff. We decided to boot it.
Yeah, there was one Lando one in that I was like, I don't know about that. In Andor, I can't swim moment, plus the reveal of what the prisoners were manufacturing.
All right, League,
because you put in the manufacturing, I'll let you keep it.
Yeah, the League had a few on there. You know what? Order 66 is not a bad call. I know it's like none of us knew it was coming, though. You know, none of us knew it would just be a coded message to the clones. So that is a good mention.
That is a good one. That's a good one. That probably should have made the 16.
Oops.
Big Dizzle Niz out there. This is B-Mad, aka Based and Brazen, aka whatever else he comes up with next. Biggest plot twist in Star Wars, without a doubt, is Vader being Luke's father. But back when I was a youngling, finding out Anakin as Vader blew my mind. Yeah, I mean, if you had never seen the OT before and like you had no clue who any of these characters were, and you're watching the prequel trilogy, and then this hero kid turns out to be the baddest person in the galaxy, you're like, holy shit, what happened?
That's an interesting way to think about it. So let's say you were prequels first. That would be your big twist, is seeing Anakin, even though I think it's fucking horrifically done, but his fall to Vader, and then you know going into the OT then that, all right, hey, listen to these idiots. They have no clue what's coming. And then obviously you get to know I am your father. It's interesting. I wonder, we'd almost have to interview some prequelites, like hardcore prequelers that only dove in at episode 1 to see.
We may have to re-interview Jared, because I know we have an interview with Jared on here already, but we talked about his toy, a lot of the toy stuff. But I think that, yeah, I mean, talking to somebody like Jared about like his experience with the prequel trilogy, and
that's why Base is saying that's why Rots is his number 1. I get it. Like, listen, I'm never here to like shit on people's favorites. I'll just tell you it's not my favorite, and I still think the turn was not good. But hey, I get it. I like that perspective, Base. That helps me. It is, because that probably would have been a big twist to all you little clone junkies, you little testosterone fueled 9-10-year-olds watching. Yeah, war, Anakin. Oh no, don't do it, you bitch. All right, let's finish this up with Monkey Toys 77 here.
That's right. Monkey Toy 77 says, when that one guy tried to bang that princess that turned out to be his sister.
Yep, that's one way to spin it, but yes, true statement.
That is also a good twist.
Oh, I like it. All right. Good stuff there, people.
Good stuff. Thank you to everybody who got involved in the question of the week. We are now moving on to the top 5 Star Wars fan artist features of the week. Geez. To get involved, make sure to follow us on Instagram at StarWarsTime.show and tag us
today.
Yeah. Add tag at StarWarsTime.show and all of your Star Wars Instagram posts. That is how you make it into the tag feed, and that's where I pull the top 5 from. So, to kick off the top 5 this week, we have Coleccionista de Plástico, and they're giving us an awesome look at the ROTJ throne room fight. We see Luke Skywalker staring down the Emperor, holding on to his lightsaber with Darth Vader there in the background. Can they turn him? Can they turn him to the dark side, or will Luke fight his father to the death? I mean, honestly, this shot here is clean as hell. Awesome setup. Really good stuff.
No, Collectionista's style is one that I would like to start emulating, because I rarely shoot toys anymore. I only collect the big boys like Collectionista. And the way they do it, it's I don't want to like make this sound like it's a bad thing, but it's a very overly simplified setup. It looks like maybe a 1-2 light setup, no background, literally just using darkness and then light to highlight the characters' forms and the way they choose. And they always end up looking very stylized and artistic. So, huge fan of Collectionista_de Plastico on Instagram. I'm inspired. I've got a lot of the Ahsoka figures are showing up, Nick, so it might be time for a photo shoot coming up. Maybe I'll give it a try. All right, who we got next? Oh, this is a classic right here. I love this.
Next up, this is Sir Dork, Sir.Dork on Instagram. One of our biggest fans, one of our favorites around here. We love Jared.
Channel subscriber, Nick. He's a channel member, not just a subscriber. He is a member.
And I am a member to his channel, and Jared's most recent live stream went over this image. So he was like, he put something up. It was like, I paid
$90.
How much he paid? Yeah, for the
$90 for a 1/18 scale shit like outhouse or porta potty.
And he was like, I don't regret it, and here's why. And this is one of the shots. He's got some other ones too, but this one here is Palpatine executing Order Stinky Stink, as he puts it. So we see Palps making his way out of a porta potty on the sands of Tatooine. You see his
toilet paper stuck to his feet.
The toilet paper stuck to his feet as he stumbles out. The stormtrooper that was watching the can is obviously getting a whiff of what was in there. I mean, this is some absolutely funny stuff here.
I wish he was still. I don't know if he's still on or maybe listening, because I think he preps his show on Wednesdays now. That's why we don't see him as much anymore, because as we revealed a few months back, Sir Dork is fully gone content. He doesn't work anymore. Yeah, so he's making a full push on the YouTube, as he should. He's got hundreds of thousands of subs. But Nick, I look at this as it's almost like Palpatine is force running out of the shitter. You see how it's kind of tilted a bit, and then you got the the dust trail coming up. Like he's trying to get away from his business so bad that he had to use the Force to pick up his pace, and therefore that's why he didn't catch the TP stuck to his heel. A trick that no one likes to be caught being a essentially the person that has the trick played on them. You ever see? Yeah, especially if you're in K through 12. You know, some of the worst years to be a human when it comes to just other humans being awful to you. You know, you see a kid walk out with TP, and it's instantly like, look at that fucking idiot.
Yeah, it's just
loser.
It's the worst.
You don't know you have toilet paper on your feet, you pig.
Yeah, like you always take the extra few seconds just to check, check.
Of course. So
but Palpatine didn't do that.
No, he needed to get the hell out, because just like the trooper is showing us through his physical actions, Palpatine knew what he did, and he was not going to be blamed, so he was speeding out of there. But this is our boy, Sir.Dork on Instagram, all over the place. Give him a follow. And anywhere you go, if you're into photography, toy photography, this is someone you need in your feed.
That is right. Next up, we got JZHZ 6669.
My bad. It's a 112 scale shit house, Nick, not 118.
Yes, 112 scale. 112 scale.
This is cinematic as fuck. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, this is wildly good. This JZHG 6669 on Instagram. They're giving us, like you said, an incredibly cinematic shot of 501st Legion trooper leaning against an AT-RT.
Got the ARF
on
trooper.
The sands of Tatooine. Yeah, ARF trooper. On the sands of Tatooine. This may even be the Lars homestead. From what it looks like, you can see all the telltale signs of a Tatooine-based little setup here. I mean, everything about this is incredible. The clouds in the background, the Dio setup, the actual posing of the figures. I mean, this is some wild and crazy stuff by JZHC. They put out some high quality shots all the time, and they even give you a little BTS to see how it's done. I mean, can't say enough about this shot here.
Yeah, I mean, it's super cinematic, like I said. JZHD is one of the best compositors in the game right now, in terms of the only thing real in this shot is the sand foreground, the bike there, and the trooper. Everything else is all digitally added in post. You can see it if you scroll through the shots here. It's just absolutely mesmerizing what some people can do. I guess let me make this clear. I'm not accusing JZHD of using any AI here, but I even think someone like me at this point in time, you're out. Can you hear me?
Reconnected? No. I can't hear anything.
I'll just
now I can hear Matt.
All right, I'll close this. I was going to say, we're pretty much, we only had one more to go, but he's back. No, I was just saying, with AI now, Nick, I think even my low IQ Photoshop ass could potentially do something like this. So maybe I'll have to challenge myself one day to see if I can reach the excellent quality that JZHG6669 puts out on Instagram. All right, next one.
That's right. Next up, Captain X CPT_EKS on Instagram. They're giving us an alternate shot of when the OT crew ran into that mouse droid on the Death Star. So what we see now is Han, Luke, and Leia looking on as Chewbacca just takes this mouse droid and throws it against the wall and just absolutely blows this thing up.
Get that walking carpet out of my way, and he takes it out on a fucking mouse droid. That's exactly what happened. Boom! Here. I like Han's expression. He's like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
He's like, "What?" He's like, "Come on, man, we're trying to do this stealthily, and you're just tossing shit around."
Shut the fuck out. I love this too, man. It's just like I could see Chewie doing this, a little Wookiee rage. Yeah. We know what happens if they don't win the Jarek, so I could see if a mouse droid maybe ran over his toes, hit him in his Achilles. Yeah, he's picking that bitch up and smashing it. So fantastic little scene here from CPT_EKS on Instagram.
That's right. And to close out the top 5 this week, we have RV Toygram. And RV Toy, this is a pretty simple shot, but it's menacing. So it's a It's I guess you like,
It's
a
Lord
low
Vader.
angle. Yeah, low angle shot of Anakin Skywalker now fully turned into Lord Vader. You can see the Sith eye, red light coming from the side, and it really does just look like Anakin is pissed off and
Yeah,
ready to
he's
kill
raging.
somebody. It's wild. Rage abound. I love the caption too. It says POV, you're a youngling, and this is the last thing that
Oh
you see.
yeah, okay, yeah, that's
Damn.
disturbing. No, I like this too. Again, it's another one of these deals where you're essentially just showcasing how great these hot toys actually are. There's not a lot of bells and whistles in this shot. It's another dark background, low light, even a little atmosphere maybe cooked in there, and yeah, that I would not want to see that red eye coming at me if I was a little, sawed off youngling sitting there going, Master Skywalker, there's too many of them. What are we gonna do? You're gonna die!
That's right.
Do you think he went through and like just cut them all in half, or was he cutting their heads off, or stabbing the kids like in the heart for like an easy?
It looked like when they
kill?
were like
he was swiping, right?
Yeah, he was like in Rots. They like look at a couple of bodies. It looks like he was just kind of swiping them down, like almost like he was swatting flies. He was just like.
Can you imagine like all the little kid parts flying around in that room when he was doing his thing? All right.
Terrible.
All right.
Well, that is it. That is the end of the top 5, and that's the end of our show for this week. So, Matt, go ahead and close us out.
You know what? That was a fun one. A little bit of a stressful day getting ready to head out of town, but I had a nice little 2+ hours with my man, Young Nick, and of course, you live stream fans. I appreciate anyone that shows up both in the vertical and the standard feed. It was good to see some old names in here like Grey Goose Snaps, you know what I mean? Bango showed up for a little bit. Base and Brazen League, we had Divided in there. And some new people. Hopefully you stick around. We do this pretty much every Wednesday throughout the year, although we will not be here next Wednesday. So make sure to write that down. You'll just have to watch one of the clips we send out throughout the week. We do it every single day of the week, Monday through Sunday, on youtube.com/Star Wars Time Show, TikTok, Instagram, and I think even Twitter. Sometimes we share our clips too. So make sure to check those out. If you've not looked at some of our other content, I implore you to go check out the channel, look through some of the videos. We've got some character deep dives. I just did one on Tula Cord myself. The AI did one on Ajunta Paul a little bit ago. We've got some Andor character breakdowns. There's plenty of content on this little baby channel for you to dig through. So that's all we ask. Give us a look. Give us an honest look. That's all I could ever ask for, because there's always time for Star Wars Time. And clearly, we need more than 3,000 subs on this channel. I need to get clear of 3,000 because it kills me every day to see it go to $299.99, back to $3, back to $299.8, up to $3 again. Let's get a blast all the way up to 4, to 5, to 6. We need 5 digits, my friends. I promise you, we are worth it. Tell a friend, sub to the channel. Consider becoming a member for as low as $1.99 a month. And then you can have cool things next to your name, like Based and Brazen. Do the dance. All right, here you go, Greg. It's the end of the show dance. It's the end of the show. All right, everyone. If you listen to the Star Wars Time Show, if you watch the Star Wars Time Show, if you clip the Star Wars Time Show, the Force will be with you always.